In just 2 matches, the US faced injuries. Karch played every player on the roster and walked away with a 3-0 sweep over a scorching hot Canada team. Here's what you missed from week 2 of the VNL. Let's get right into it. All right, here's what we're going to cover in this video. First, what happened in the first 2 matches of the week against China and Canada. Second, some key injuries that happened in those matches for the US. We'll talk about Karch's wizard-like rotation lineups, putting everyone on the dang roster on the court at some point or another, and some of his decisions as a coach. Gabby Garcia's redemption game against Canada, and the outlook for the Poland and Italy match coming up to close out the week. So recapping the China and Canada game. First one, the China match, on paper our easiest match of the week, and I predicted a 3-1 victory. We ended up winning that in 5 sets with a lot of lineup changes and a lot of coaching decisions, but ultimately finding a way to play really good volleyball down the stretch and close out the 5th set, as we've done pretty well this VNL so far, finding really good volleyball in those 5-set matches. Lots of contributors in that one, pretty balanced. Cooper Robinson started off pretty hot, but then fizzled out and ended up being Ethan Champlin's name that was called. As I predicted, I really had him coming off a strong week 1, so it was no surprise for me to have him come in and really contribute late in that match. Then in the Canada game, we kind of just played really good volleyball throughout, and it was really setting the tone by phenomenal serving by Gabby Garcia and Cooper Robinson. Canada had to put more service pressure at the line because we were siding out. Like Amaa was keeping us in system, delivering the ball right where we needed to, and our serving was the difference maker to push us over the edge in some pretty tight sets. But the injuries were definitely a factor. Eric Shoji going down early in the China match, kind of a weird, funky play where he's coming in for a second ball, setting out of system, and looked like a little bit of a hyperextension of the leg, kind of an awkward movement. Not sure exactly what the extent is of the injury. I know it was listed as just a leg injury. Keep you updated and monitor on his progress. He was moving around and walking around for the Canada match. Did not play, obviously, but there's no rush to get him back on the court. Kyle D'Agostino just came in and delivered some good ball and did exactly what he had to do to solidify that role in Shoji's absence. Then in the next match, Shane Holdaway went down with a funky injury. That one looked a little bit more scary. Fingers crossed for Shane. Hopefully it's not too serious. Looked like potentially Achilles lower leg injury. So hoping for him to sort out whatever injury that was and hopefully on the road to a quick recovery there. But Merrick McHenry was legitimately sitting in the stands talking to friends or whoever it was, and then was subbed in from the stands to take Holdaway's place and ended up getting the game-winning block to seal the deal in the 3rd set. I said this in my report card video. Merrick has been playing awesome volleyball. Blocking Dane and Gemma is no easy task. The 2 UCLA Bruins fly high. They kept saying on the broadcast they were teammates. I'm not certain if they overlapped at the same time. I know they were close at UCLA, but I have to fact check that one. McHenry came in for Holdaway and was a huge contributor. But the injuries didn't slow down Karch. One of the main topics of this video is just talking about his approach to the game, willingness to just sub in anyone and everyone during the match, in between sets. I think some of that is probably the culmination of his years coaching on the women's side, where you have more substitutions at play. Whether it's a block sub, a serve sub, switching to that 6-2 rotation. He's doing a lot of things, tinkering a lot of lineups that have worked out for the US. It really has. I think if someone's not performing, you can't just keep them in there and make them figure it out all the time. There's certain circumstances where that's an understandable practice, but we have no pressure with us to make LA. We already have that auto bid. So it gives Karch a great opportunity to play some different guys, see who's working. If someone's not playing the level they need to, it's next man up mentality. He calls them game changers on the bench, which I think is a pretty cool way of looking at it. Everyone has an impact, and everyone on this roster seems to be willing to come in and make a difference. So it's been cool to see the flow and the progression of Karch using just about every single person on the lineup in the China match and utilizing and maximizing those subs in the Canada one as well. One lineup adjustment for him that I don't know if I fully believe is kind of the 6-2 that he's been tinkering tinkering with Micah Ma'a and Quinn Isaacson, just because Gabby Garcia was flowing out there, and there's times when Ensing or Kyle Hobus are just rolling as well, especially on the D ball. So to come in, bring a new setter in the mix, and just switch up that flow. Although the 6'2" advantage is getting a front row right side and a smaller setter in the back row, I just think sacrificing that flow of the game and decision making in the setter it's not always going to work against the bigger and better teams. That's something to keep an eye on, how much that's utilized going forward, and if that's going to be kind of a staple of this U.S. offense transitioning from the VNL to World Championships and to the next stages of this team. Last thing to talk on is Gabby Garcia's 19-point 3-set sweep over Canada. He dominated. He was awesome. Great comeback from last week in week 1 when he just did not have his best performances. He looked killer on the service line. Canada was switching from 3 to 4, 4 to 3, trying to give him different looks. It did not matter. When he went up there and he made clean contact, it was either ace out of system or a miss. And when you get 3 aces in a match, you'll take the couple misses that you get. Even offensively, he was attacking really well, hitting high, terminal from the D ball, and just all you can ask from that right side position, that when we have rolling, we look like a completely different team. I plan on doing another report card video after week 2 is done, but right now my favorite for player of the week is Micah Ma'a. He's been fantastic, poising the offense, looking really good, and just in complete control out there as a setter. Serve has been solid, defense has been really good, and just injecting a lot of energy and leadership into this team that shows the impact that the setter position has on this U.S. men's national team. So Poland next and Italy to follow. We'll see what we can do against those 2 really good teams. I know Italy brings a lot of their Olympic starters to this match, and Poland not as much, but they're always a really challenging opponent. Keep following along. I will be in Chicago for those 2 matches, so if you're attending the VNLs in person, do say hello. Stay tuned for future VNL content to come. We'll be commenting on everything, analyzing as much as I can, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.